Yo, what up, everyone? This is a J Fuzz Type V. Today's video, we're talking about the time I got catfished on Tinder. Sit back, relax, get your snacks, get your desserts, and enjoy the video. Thank you. So before I jump in my first story time, I did want to give you guys this kind of rundown of when we're doing these videos. So I'm going to be telling story times, usually have a gameplay in the background. I don't know what this gameplay will be, but we'll have some gameplay in the background. If you guys want to comment down below what kind of game you guys want me to play. But essentially, have a gameplay in the background, I tell my story time, and I'm also going to have visuals, more like drawings on Microsoft Paint, throughout the video explaining certain scenarios and settings in the story. But I hope you guys enjoy, and let's dive right into it. So the time I got catfished on Tinder, this was probably about 5 years ago or so. About 5 years ago, I was a freshman in college. Excuse me. I was a freshman in college. I was enjoying life. I was on Tinder, and so basically how this starts is I have Tinder, hit this chick, get a match, right? Hit her up, you know, talk some smooth lines, talk some pickup lines, you know what I'm saying? And it worked. Probably something cheesy and dumb, but it worked, right? And I asked for a Snapchat. She gave me a Snapchat, so I started Snapchatting her because it's a little easier. You know, you guys know. But start chatting and everything. It's a great conversation going. She's like, hey, you trying to FaceTime? I'm like, you know, I don't have, what is it called? iPhone at this time, so I can't do that. I have an Android. Let's video chat on Snapchat, because I'm pretty sure they just rolled out the FaceTime, like the video chat on Snapchat at this point. So I was like, let's go in there. And she's like, yeah, let's do it. So like a week or two later, we eventually video chatted. It was a good conversation. I remember sitting in my basement, just kind of talking to her, showing her my room, showing my basement. I don't know. I was just kind of a little nervous talking about random stuff. And she's in a dorm room, kind of more reserved. She's only showing from her, like, her chest up, not really anything else. Just kind of being reserved, which is cool and all, but that was a little bit of a red flag, how she wasn't very, like, I don't know. She's very stuck in one position, if that makes any sense. She wasn't really trying to, like, oh, this is this, you know, and, like, she wasn't standing up. Like, she wasn't showing her full body, is essentially what I'm saying. And, I don't know, it's just, like, that was a little off, right? Maybe she's self-conscious about something, but that's cool and all. There's no worries about that. Everyone has their own problems, their own self-conscious things, and that's cool. But like, it still was a little weird, right, in the moment. I don't know. I feel like if you're trying to have a conversation with someone, trying to get to know them, you'd be like, oh, this is this. She was just like with her, you know, her phone right in her freaking face.
That old ass game
the whole way. Like,
it was 100%.
So
100%.
that chat ends. It was a great, you know, great video chat. Just got to know each other a little bit more, but like got to see each other. And then after that, she was like, "Yeah, we should hang out sometime." It's like November. I'm pretty sure we're more December time. Should hang out sometime. But where I live, it's hella snowy over here. So, you know, driving out to wherever she was, I knew it was gonna be a mission because we had hella snow at this time. Like this week, we had hella snow. And she's like, yo, I'm flying over to Canada. I got this hotel at this airport. Let's hang out. You want to drive out where I am? And I'm like, I don't know. It's like a 25-minute drive, but like, I don't have the greatest car to snow. We had a Honda Element. Honda Elements are good in the snow. Obviously, you have snow tires and the right stuff. But our tires was kind of bare. I remember at this point, wasn't great in snow. And I also didn't want to drive in the snow. You know, it's a huge thing. Like, I understand. Guess I'm, you know what I mean? If you want to drive in the snow, like, it's the only time worth it if you're going to get that, but I don't know, I just thought it was a little weird. When I say you know what I mean, as in, you're only in the snow to get weed and you know what up. So, like, if you're driving in the middle of a storm. So, I knew that, like, I don't know, it wasn't going to happen, but she was like, alright, well, you should try to make it out here, like, I don't know what to do, I'm not going to be here for a while. I was like, how about this? I'll smoke you out, and your friend picks me up. She's like, all right, let me talk to my friend. So she talks to her friend, right? Her friend says, yeah. I'll pick him up. So she's 25 minutes away, like I said before, and it takes her about like 40 minutes to get here, right? Fast forward to when she gets here. So now she's in my, her and her friend are in my driveway in their car. So I hop out there, right? I remember being a super super nice Beamer, like a brand new Beamer, bro. I'm talking like fresh off the showroom floor, bro. Like it is brand spanking new. You open the door, you have the Beamer light that shines right on the ground, bro. Like it was clean. Like I've seen nice cars before, but like I was like, wow, this is a really nice car. Like I just wasn't expecting that. Like, I really wasn't. Like I'm not judging anyone here, but I'm just saying I wasn't expecting like that nice of a car pull up. It's like I don't know. It's like, oh hey, you tell your friend, hey, you want to come over? He's like, yeah, and he pulls up in a Tesla, like like I don't know. I just wasn't expecting that in that situation, right? Whatever. So hop in the car. You gotta remember, I'm not really the greatest with chicks at this point. Like so, like either I'm very nervous or I'm very talkative. And I knew at this moment, since it's just me and they're coming to see me, I have to be very talkative. I have to talk a lot. I don't know. I have to make something here. So I was in my very talkative mood at this point. My social battery was quickly running out, but I was going with it. And so I'm talking to her friend more than I'm talking to her. Now we're going to call the girl in Catfish, the girl who catfished me, we're going to call it Brittany. Her friend, it's Brittany's friend. I never going to call her, right? So you got Brittany and you got Brittany's friend. Brittany is the one who catfished me, to say it again, right? Brittany is sitting in the passenger seat. Brittany's friend, the driver, is in the driver's seat, obviously. And I'm behind Brittany. So the back seat, passenger seat. I could draw a little picture so you guys. But like at this point, I want to talk to both of them, so I'm kind of more in the center seat, right? Talking to them. And at this angle, she looked the same, right? She seemed the same. Just very quiet. And I was like trying to like poke on her, like, hey, like I'm here for you, essentially. Like I'm here to talk to you. Like I'm interested in you. Like let's talk. But she was very reserved. I found out her friend had a boyfriend, so like obviously I'm not gonna cross that path. I don't want any bullshit with that. So I just obviously kept distance from that. So eventually we get to the hotel. Right, it takes about 30 minutes or 40 minutes to get there, a little bit longer because it's snow outside. Now we're sitting in the parking lot, we're chilling. We're like, yo, let's smoke. I'll smoke you out. So I take out my piece, take out a little bit of green, start puffing. I puff a little bit. Brittany doesn't puff, but Brittany's friend puffs once. I take probably about 2-3 puffs in total, right? We're chilling. I'm like a little high at this point. You gotta remember, my tolerance at this time was not high by any means, so like a few puffs would get me smacked. So I'm a little smacked. Just kind of give you a mindset. I'm a little smacked. Brittany is chilling in there, and Brittany's friend she's like, oh, I'm feeling great right now. Like I don't need any more. I'm feeling great. I'm like, sweet. But out of nowhere, Brittany goes into the glove compartment right in front of her, right, and just takes out a White Claw. Like, yeah, because a normal person just has a White Claw sitting in the glove compartment, but yeah, she pulls out a White Claw and just chugs one. And I'm like, what? Like, I wasn't expecting it. I started laughing. But she's like, oh, like, it was so weird, her response for it, really, like, because I remember her being like, I just need this White Claw. I need it. I need it very much. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, I just need it. I just need it. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't find that attractive when, I understand you're nervous in certain situations, and alcohol does calm that. Like, you drink one casually, but she literally straight up chugged that, bro. Like, I'm talking, like, gone in a few seconds, bro. Like, was good at it. Like, chugged it. And I'm like, okay, like, word? Like, I started laughing. I thought it was funny at the time, right? And so she starts talking a little bit more. Her friend's talking a little bit more than her, right? We're still cutting it up. And then next thing you know, she takes another one. Like, she opens the glove compartment again and takes another White Claw and chugs that White Claw. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I didn't find that attractive. I don't find that one attractive when girls do that, when they have to be kind of reliable on a device, on a vice, I mean, in order to, like, get the nerves away, Like, even though I'm nervous in the situation and weed does calm me down, but it also does get me amplified in certain ways. So, like, is it really help? Not really, but, like, I don't know. I just thought it was weird what she was doing, right? Personally, I didn't find it attractive. But eventually, she chugs that thing, throws the can away, right? And her friend's like, oh, let's go ahead inside in a few minutes. I'm like, all right, let me just pack my stuff away. So I pack my stuff away, throw the water out of the car and everything, put my stuff in my bag, and then I'm ready to go. All right, so we dip. I open the car door, right? Like I said, I'm the passenger back seat. Hop out. I'm the first one out. Then Brittany goes out, and then Brittany's friend goes out, right? So now in this situation, this is the defining point in the story, right? This whole time, Brittany looks normal from the photos. She looks exactly like the photos. But when I hop out of that seat and I see both of them out, like, and I see, well, obviously Brittany, specifically Brittany, when I see Brittany, she does not look like the girl in the photos. She's way heavier. Her body structure looked a little bit way different in the photos from what I saw, right? Which is no problem. I'm not saying anything negative here. You know, like my parents say, there's a lid for every jar. She was just not the lid for my jar, you know? She was just a little bit heavier than from the photos. She was a little bit different than what I was expecting, right? So, at this point, I'm like, okay, not interested, nothing's going to happen. You know, like, I'm not going to cross that point. It's just, she's just not of interest. I don't find her attractive in my eyes, right? But, like, I'm like, let's just make the best of the situation. Let's just hang out with them. So, I'm analyzing this whole thing, right, as they hop out of the car. So this is like probably like 3 to 10 second like visual as we're walking to the like realization as we're walking to the hotel. And we get to the hotel room, or we get to the hotel, we go in the elevator. Now, I gotta say this point because I remember this very specifically. So I'm smacked, right? She's a little tipsy because she was saying I'm a little tipsy because she just chugged those 2 White Claws. You got a friend who's feeling great, right? It's gonna give you the headspace of everyone. Hop in the elevator. They both had hop in first. I hop in last. I'm near the controls of like the elevator where you press the floor numbers. And it's just, I don't know, it's just so weird. So I love Champion gear, right? I love Champion, like the clothing company, you know, Champion, Champion.com. Like I love them. So she knew that because I know she liked all my photos on Instagram type thing. So I knew she stalked me on Instagram, and she was wearing a 100-year anniversary, because at this point it was a 100-year anniversary of Champion, the company, sweatshirt. And I'm like, oh, it's a really nice sweatshirt. Like, I don't know, I remember being like very like, oh, that's cool. Like, and she, oh, thanks, I wore it for you. I'm like, okay, that's cool. But like, dude, what am I saying next? Just like, I don't know how I thought this, but as I'm saying that, like, dude, I swear to you, like I'm gonna draw you a visual. Like I'm in the corner looking, right? I'm 6'3", so I'm taller than both of them. And I'm looking at them, and for some reason, it looks like I remember in this moment, her being taller than me, and looking like a gremlin. Dude, I know it's very weird, but she straight up looked like a gremlin. Like, I don't know how to describe it, like, because I was just that smacked or whatever. Like, it was so freaking weird, bro. I can have the exact, if I could draw the exact visual in my head and put it on the screen, I would. But she straight up looked like a gremlin who was taller than me, which was also kind of weird because I'm taller than her already. So I don't know how that height difference happened. I was just that smacked and nervous and all the everything at once. But whatever. So I'm like, yeah, I was kind of freaked out on them. Like that whole like 3 or 4 second, elevator ride was just so weird because I was stuck on that, like fixating on like, dude, she looks like a gremlin. That's so weird. But we get out of the elevator, right? After the whole thing, I'm in my head. We get out of the elevator and we go to the hotel room, right? So they open the hotel room. It's like right near the elevator. They both go in first. Now I'll draw a visual of it. You got the dresser on the left side. Well, you got a mirror on the left side. You got a dresser, and then to the right you got the bathroom immediately, and then you walk a little bit more and you get 2 beds, two queen size beds, like a normal setup. I'll show a photo. I'll show a drawing, whatever. You'll see. So I sit on the inner side of the first bed to the door. I sit in the inner side to the corner nearest to the TV, and like sitting inward between the 2 beds, like the walkway between the 2 beds. You'll see what I mean. I'll draw like a circle or whatever. You'll see. She sits to the right of me, so she's sitting more at the head of the bed where the pillows are, and her friend sitting across from her, like in the other bed where the pillows are. And so we start chatting up. So I'm just, we chat for a little bit. Like, we chat for a while, but, like, I just wanted to, like, fast forward. I wanted to not explain the boring part. So we're chatting for a little bit. So, like, 10, 15 minutes pass, right? And the vibe of the room's a little different because I'm not talkative. I'm not interested in her. Maybe she's knowing I'm finally not interested in her or something. But her friend's like, you want to go to the bathroom? Yeah, let's go to the bathroom. We go to the bathroom just to start chatting it up. And I think they're trying to probably think of something to do or talking about me or whatever. In this situation, I'm like, yo, I need a freaking dip. Like, this whole situation, I'm not interested in her. I don't want to be here. It's a little awkward. Like, anything could happen, first of all. Like, I don't know what to do. So, I decided to about to grab my stuff and put my shoes on, right? And right before that's about to happen, like, I'm putting my hands on on my knees and pushing up, like, about to get up off the bed and, like, grab my stuff. Right before I'm about to act, they walk in the bathroom. Now, this was, of course, like 2-3 minutes of me thinking about everything, like, how am I gonna dip out? Like, I gotta dip out right now. Let me dip out right now. So, I'm like, yo, I'm stuck in this situation right now. I can't just leave out of nowhere. It's not the way I operate. I gotta find some, like, smooth way to leave or just casually leave, pretty much. Now, this part will always stick with me. So, they both walk in the bathroom and they immediately go to the AC unit, right? And I'll show you the format of the room. The AC unit is obviously right in front of the window like it usually is, and I'm like looking at the AC unit, right? Like even though I'm a bed away from it, like I'm still looking at it, like that's the way I'm facing. And they walk up to the AC unit, and like there's a control panel, right? A little flap thing that covers the control panel. They flap that thing up, like, and Brittany's like, "Oh, what does this setting do?" And her friend's like, "Well, it does this." And like, dude, they start bending over, like, and like they're wearing, leggings and everything. So you guys can see the visual I'm thinking of, right? Like what I'm seeing in this whole thing. And I know they're trying to tease and everything. And I was like, dude, that's so weird. This is like literally straight up a video you see online, like if you know what I mean. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Why are they even doing it? Like they're literally bending over, like, I don't know. It's just so weird. Like it's just so forward and weird. Like I understand you're trying to bang, but bro, like that's not. For me, especially, that's not a way to communicate that, especially if I've already communicated I'm not interested. So, I start laughing, bro, because I'm like, that's so, like, out of place. It's just so weird. Like, I wasn't expecting it, right? So, she, like, why are you laughing? Like, why are you laughing? What's so funny? And I'm like, dude, I'm just not, like, in my head, I'm like, I'm just not interested. I'm like, I just think it's funny what you guys are doing. Like, what's so funny about that? I'm like, no, nothing. So, I think at this point, it communicates to her that I know what they're doing, but I'm still not interested. It's kind of like a little weird. And so eventually, they kind of like ended that whole thing, and they kind of just stood up and went back to their beds. I don't know, it was just such a weird, dude. It was so weird. I wish I could animate or something and show that, but like it was just so weird. Like I understand what you're trying to do, man. Like, but like first of all, I'm not interested. I already communicated that, and it's just weird how you're doing that. Specifically, right after going to the bathroom. So you guys obviously communicate about that. So freaking weird. I'm happy to be able to tell the story because this is funny looking back on it and how the fact I even experienced this. I've been in some weird situations, but besides the point. So we eventually they end. They go to the bed. They start talking. Blah blah blah. It's been like 20-30 minutes, like 20-30 minutes at this point. And I remember specifically to add some more part to the story that we have a TV on, right? The TV, you'll see the TV in this room set up. And we have a TV on, and I'm pretty sure there's Drake and Josh or Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. There was something older show on when I was younger that I love watching that I was just kind of invested in. Plus, I was a little high, so I was enjoying even more. And she's like, "Why are you watching this so much? What are you high? What are you high? Oh, you a little too high, huh?" Like exactly like that. And dude, that pissed me off. That like made me so mad. The fact that she's kind of like, "Oh, are you high, huh?" Like making fun of me, but like in a playful, like, but I'm also not trying to be playful by any means. It was just weird, dude. It was just weird. I was not enjoying it. I'm like, "Can you stop?" And she's like, "Why? What are you too high?" And I'm like, it's not like, in my head, I'm like, that's not funny, but I can't be rude. I'm overthinking certain situations. I'm like, I kind of just ignore what she's saying. But it annoyed me really, like, I'm looking back on it, like, it annoyed me a lot in the moment. It's so freaking weird. But, so that thing ends, right? Now I'm sitting there. It's probably about 30-40 minutes, right? Fast forward a little bit. She sees I'm not very interested in everything, and she's like, starts, brought up another conversation like, "Hey, well, I'm gonna be going to Canada. If you ever want to come out, I can buy you a plane ticket." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, I can buy you a plane ticket." I'm like, "It's a lot of money." Like, "Yeah, but my dad owns a lot of Zoom tan businesses, like some tanning business of her own under her, like, I guess her own brand name, or I don't know what the hell it was." So yeah, I own a few myself. My dad owns a few. And I'm like, "Oh, word, that's awesome." And she sees how I piqued interest in it, and the fact that I piqued interest in it, she started pushing a little bit more. It's like, "Yeah, well, I can buy you a plane ticket, plane ticket out there. I got a massive house. I'm talking like a mansion. Like, I'm like, that's cool. Like, and she starts like pushing even more. And I just thought like, this is not authentic. If she wants me that bad, she's talking about her house buying a plane ticket, dude. She's that desperate. Like, I'm really not anything that crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to doubt myself or anything, put myself down, but like, true. Like, dude, you literally just met me. The fact that you've been doing this, it's weird. But, eventually, I'm in my head high. Like, like, what she's saying is just complete jack. Like, I can't be like, falling for it. So she sees how I'm not really that interested after, a few more sentences about it. So I kind of just switched the subject. So I don't remember what I switched to, but I remember to switch it to a different subject. And I was like, yeah, I'm just not even interested in, like, she's trying to lead me on with this whole, oh, buy you a plane ticket. Like, who cares? So eventually I'm like, I need to order my Uber. So I ordered my Uber. That was like 10 minutes after that. So I ordered my Uber. I need to dip out. She's like, you're going to leave already? I'm like, yeah. So fast forward even 10 more minutes. My Uber finally gets there. Now, this whole time, when I say fast forward in any time in this whole story, it's just, I've sat there, like, I literally sat in that room, 5 minutes of complete silence. I'm talking 5 straight minutes of complete silence of them staring at their phones and me staring at, like, the TV or the ground because of how awkward I was and how high I was and just how weird it was. Like, dude, like, to put you in the shoes, dude, it was, like, how did I describe this? Like, imagine sitting in a room with a girl who's interested in you, and you know they're interested in you, and you showed a little interest as well, but she's trying to talk to you, right? But you're sitting in that room awkwardly, like, just staring. But you don't know what to say, she doesn't know what to say. So, like, imagine that, right? Like, this really describe it. Like, imagine that. Like, it's just so weird. It was just so awkward in the situations, but you gotta experience those situations in order to grow from it, right? And that's where I've grown a lot from that situation, from that time being like 5-6 years ago. So, where am I at now? So yeah, so my Uber finally comes, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna dip out. She's like, okay. So I give Brittany's friend like a distant hug. I remember first, and I give her like a distant hug. Like literally like one arm like 2-3 feet away my body, like literally like just like a distant, like a distant hug. And I dip out. Now still more to the story. Yes, there's still more. I go to my Uber now. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit now. I go to my Uber, sit in my Uber. Super cool dude. Guy used to be a cop. He had a canine sniffing dog. The dog retired with him. He's telling a story about how he just picked up a few teens beforehand. His dog was sitting in the back seat. It's an SUV. I don't remember what brand car, but sitting in the back seat, in the trunk area. His dog sitting at, and they're just chilling. And like as he's driving these kids around, and the dog alerts to weed, right? And the dog sits down, and he's like, "Hey guys, where's the drugs at?" And the kids are like, "What do you mean drugs?" He's like, "Well, no, where's the drugs at?" He's like, "What do you mean drugs?" So he pulls over. He's like, "Where are the drugs at?" Like, yo, like, he's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Well, where's the weed?" He's like, "How do you know?" What? No, we don't have any of that. Like, what? Like, communicating to the driver, like, that they have weed, but also, how do you know that? And he's like, the dog is in the back, and he used to be my canine. Like, he used to work for the police and everything. I retired with him, and he's a drug-stealing dog. He likes to, like, he knows. And they're like, oh, well, yeah, we do have some pull at, like, 2-3 joints. And he's like, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking around. Now, this guy is telling me the story, right? This guy's telling me the story as I have shit on me. And I'm freaking out because after everything that just happened at this hotel room with this girl from Tinder and like whole catfish situation, how I dipped out from that whole awkward, most of the time was just awkward sitting there. And then, first of all, I stuck out of my house because I was nervous to tell my parents. All in the snowstorm, like all emotions are like, I'm like, holy crap, what's going on here? And this guy's telling me this. And I'm like, but he hasn't, like, this happens to be the one run where he does not bring his dog on. Because he's like, yeah, I bring my dog on every run, but this is the one run I decided not to bring him on. But what's the freaking chances, bro? What's the freaking chances? Eventually dropped me off. I'm super appreciative, drop him a tip, because I'm like, I appreciate you driving the snow and everything. But, bro, like, from that whole situation, I learned a lot. I learned, if you're gonna match with some chick on Tinder and like gonna meet up, try to make sure she's the person she says she is. Like make sure she's it. Um, do your research. You know what I mean. Look up her Instagram and everything, and look at some photos. And yeah. Also, I don't know. Don't travel during a snowstorm. Especially when you know that sometimes it's hard to get Ubers, because it was a little hard to get Ubers, and you always, if you know you're going to be going in an uncomfortable situation, or it's going to be a little bit weird, make sure you have a ride. Either drive there, or have someone set up already to get your ride, because if you want to dip out quick, then you have a ride already set, especially if you drive there. The best part, you can leave at any time, literally just walk out. But, yep, I hope you guys enjoy. Appreciate you guys listening along, and we'll have more story times coming soon. Peace.